Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have been waiting for, it is time for my first ever 2024 NFL mock draft 1.0. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Julian Rico, and I know we had some NFL news, and so I will get to those news in another video, which I'll hope to get it today. Let's get to it. For the first, without further ado, here is my mock draft. Let's start with the Chicago Bears, number one pick, Caleb Williams. No surprise. A lot of people compare him as Patrick Mahomes. I think this is the likely scenario for Chicago. And we'll probably hear this during free agency market in next week on March 13th. New season begins. Justin Fields is going to get traded. You got one shot to get this. Caleb Williams going there, and it's going to be the big scenario for this team. So I think this is going to be the right move. So give me Chicago getting Caleb Williams. At number 2, Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, and the Washington Commanders. It's a new era, and for me, I went back either Jalen Daniels or Drake May. And because of that, I picked Drake May, quarterback from the North Carolina Tar Heels. So shout out to those Tar Heels out there. This guy is this reminds me of Justin Herbert. Go look at his highlights in North Carolina. And maybe you might go look at him against Oregon in the Holiday Bowl against Oregon. I see his throws, the ability to move out of the pocket, and deep throws. He's a guy that maybe Cliff Kingsbury will want in this offense. Drake May will give that to you. And I think it's going to make sense. But this is 1.0. Once we get to the further week, 2.0, and then maybe we'll get once the draft is about to come out, I'll give you my final mock draft. But let's continue. 4th pick, the Cardinals getting Marvin Harrison Jr. Real good weapon. No surprise. The Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. Give me Joe Alt from Notre Dame. I think he'll play right tackle and put Rashawn Slater at left tackle. The Giants get a weapon in Malik Neighbors with the 6th pick. Olusegun Ogunleshanye, the tackle for Penn State. This is an interesting one because I went back to this one because a lot of people will say, well, Tennessee needs a weapon. Can Romeo Dunze be that guy? Brock Bowers? Could an offensive lineman be there? Like J.C. Latham or Olusegun Ogunleshanye? But for Penn State tackle Ogunleshanye, he's going to reunite with his quarterback, Will Levis, who, of course, he was the Penn State quarterback before then transferred to Kentucky. That would be an interesting teammate right there. The Atlanta Falcons, no, I'm not going to. This is a no-brainer. Dallas Turner from Alabama with the 8th pick. The Chicago Bears get Romeo Dunze from the 9th pick for Chicago, Rome Dunze. Yeah. The New York Jets, Jets, Jets. Talicia Fufanga, I think it's his name, offensive tackle for the Oregon State Beavers. This move could make sense. Why? Aaron Rodgers will be back. They're going to have to fix their offensive line. Of course, DeJuan Brown is in free agency. Mekhi Becton in free agency. But they also cut Laken Tomlinson. We'll see what happens in free agency. But as of now, I got the Oregon State tackle going to the Big Apple in New York. The Minnesota Vikings, I went back to this one that I got Terran Arnold, corner from Alabama. This news happened already. If you already heard this news, I will get to that news in the other video. J.J. McCarthy, who has been the most impressive or the most watched quarterback to keep an eye on, I got him in Denver with the 12th pick. J.C. Latham going to Vegas. They will need that. He wants to play a left tackle. I think Antonio Pierce will do that for him. J.C. Latham to the Raiders. Jared Verse, defensive end from Florida State, will join Cam Jordan, the Saints. Quinyon Mitchell from Tulane will go to Indy. Young star, really did good on the 40-yard dash in the combine. Really great player to keep an eye on. Seattle getting Byron Murphy, defensive tackle for Texas, with the 16th pick. Nate Wiggins will head to Jacksonville with the 17th pick for Clemson. I want to have fun because I want to have fun. Brock Bowers to the Cincinnati Bengals with the 18th pick. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute. Brock Bowers is the best tight end. He's the best tight end. But because he didn't participate in the combine, and then pro days will be good. It comes down to, will teams be interesting in Brock Bowers? The Chargers would be. Tennessee would be. You may look at Chicago. They could be interesting in that. The Jets, Denver, the Saints. A lot of people are looking at New Orleans. The team that would be a most exclusive team. You want to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Their defense is going to be good. Brock Bowers reminds me of George Kittle. And you're going to get that guy. Look at the duo. Joe Burrow was going to come back from the wrist injury. Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, who I'm hoping to get him an extension. And you get Brock Bowers. That's a tandem of weapons, and this is going to be the Bengals team that's going to try to compete for a Super Bowl. That's what I like. Continue. Troy Fafana. I'm going to try to spell these names. Troy Fantuna. Yeah, I'm sorry. Offensive tackle for Washington. They can put him in guard, left tackle or guard. He'll go with the Rams. Amar Mims from tackle for Georgia will go to Pittsburgh. Remember, they drafted Broderick Jones from Georgia, heading to Pittsburgh. Why not going back to Georgia? Why not go back to another Georgia Bulldog in Amari Mims? Lonnie Latu to the Dolphins. They did release Emmanuel Appa. Xavier Howard, I thought I would go get a corner, but I think they'll still go after a corner in free agency. But I got Latu from UCLA going to Miami. Kool-Aid McKinlister, corner for Alabama. I think it's a good move. He'll be alongside James Bradbury, Darius Slay, and he'll be their third corner, and I think he'll do really good in that Vic Fangio's defense. I want to make fun of this one. The Houston Texans get Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver from LSU. That would be a great weapon because I think you look at this. Number one receiver, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Brian Thomas Jr. CJ Stroud will love Brian Thomas Jr. on that team. The Cowboys, we don't know about Tyron Smith, but he's unlikely to return. So why not replace him with Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma? That would be a good move for the Cowboys. Cooper DeJean, safety from Iowa, will go to Green Bay. And then you get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I want to give them a third wide receiver. I really want that. But I look at the offensive line. Ryan Jensen retired. Tristan Wirfs really played good on the tackle, probably the best tackle in the league. Cody Minch plays, I think, the guard position. He'll do good. The center is what I look at. So with that reason, I had Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon to go to Tampa and will be in the starting lineup for the Buccaneers. Darius Robinson, defensive end for Missouri, will go with the Cardinals with the 27th pick. Chop Robinson. Now, I want to give that team another weapon. However, there's not going to be quality wide receivers for them to go. with Chop Robertson from Penn State. The Baltimore Ravens get Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle for Arizona. They got to get this offensive lineman fixed. What was the one thing the Ravens need? Offensive line. So I think Jordan Mason will do good in Baltimore. Graham Borden, guard from Duke. He'll probably play guard or center. So he'll probably maybe be a center in San Francisco. And then I want to say this last. With the 32nd pick, the undisputed Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs select the 40-yard dash record holder Xavier Worthy, wide receiver, Texas. Now, a lot of people say he will make it the first round. Maybe Buffalo will get him. Maybe the Buccaneers can get him as a third receiver. Kansas City will like to have this guy to Kansas City. He's a speed receiver. Ran for 4.21, broke John Ross's record. Add him with Rashid Rice. That will absolutely send a clear message to say, oh, Kansas City is going to be still the favorites for that Super Bowl title. But that is my mock draft. If y'all have some things to say about my mock draft, go ahead and put that in the comment section below. Leave a comment, question of the day. Post your mock draft in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.